you are solo traveler and you are really excited about meeting a place, and then you meet the place, you meet the people, you meet the culture, and you realize that it's not your place, don't worry about that. Just try to see what's the next step. Can I go to the country that is next to it? Okay, so let's go. Can I move the city? Okay, let's go. Or I just want to go back home? It's all right. If you want to go back. Like, always talk to yourself. What makes you feel happy? If you are comfortable, stay. If you are not comfortable, move. It's so easy. It's like that.
Welcome to the Travel Not to Escape podcast. I'm your host, Jolene on the Go, solo female traveler and creative entrepreneur. Think of me as your skydive instructor, empowering you to take the leap into solo travel to push past your fears and transform your life. Join me every Tuesday as we explore the world of solo travel with purpose and discover how you can use it for your personal transformation, learn how to make meaningful connections around the world, and reignite your spirit of play. We aren't just talking about traveling to find ourselves anymore. We're all about doing the work to understand who we authentically are, breaking through our limiting beliefs, and taking the leaps to manifest lives we are excited about. Through interviews, solo episodes, and meditations, each episode is packed with practical tips, strategies, and inspiring stories from guests who have transformed their lives through solo travel. Whether you're a seasoned traveler or just starting out on your journey, the Travel Not to Escape podcast is here to inspire and empower you to solo travel with purpose. Strap on your helmet. We're about to jump headfirst into the journey of a lifetime. Are you ready? Let's go. Welcome, Travel Not to Escape navigators. I'm so excited to have my guest today, Susana Moscardo, entrepreneur and virtual Spanish teacher, and we're going to be chatting about her story of solo travel transformation. And she and I met in a bachata class here in Bali, and I thought her story was really interesting. And she's been solo traveling for a while now, and she also teaches Spanish to nomads. So we want to dive in a little bit into her story. Thank you for being on today's podcast, Susana.
Hello, everybody. How are you? I'm so happy to be here.
And before we dive into your background and travels, and get to know you a little bit more, I want to start with a question I ask everyone, and that is, what was your favorite childhood activity?
Okay, since I was little, I was actually a very dispersed person. So I really enjoy to do like many things. So I can't really choose one. I did like many activities since I was little, and I really like to change from one to another and try everything. I was really curious. So yeah, I think that the only activity that I used to do every day almost, and I really enjoy, was walk my dog, because I have some fields outside home. So I really enjoy to get lost in the nature and just see new like spots in the fields, and just get lost with the dog and the nature. That's the thing that I most enjoy, and I think that that's why I am like that now, like
Yeah.
very adventurous and like that. So yeah.
Yeah, and it sounds like you've leaned fully in to, okay, so the play style that's coming across is explorer. So
Yeah.
you were exploring not just nature and the world with your dog, and you were also exploring different activities, it sounds like, even at a very young age. And that makes sense because now you're an adult and you are traveling, you've built your own business and navigating the world. So there's a direct correlation with your younger
Yeah,
self
sure.
and your present self. And so let's start from the very beginning. Can you tell me a bit then about your background, where are you from, and how you started solo traveling?
Okay, so I am from Valencia, Spain. I'm actually living, I was born and raised in a little town that it's called Almusafes in Valencia. Yeah, and my family comes from the teaching area, so they are mostly teachers. And they don't really travel that much, actually. Like, a little town in Spain, you don't really go abroad, or you don't, I don't know, you just stay here and work here. So I am kind of the black sheep in because I'm the different. Like, I really want to explore the world since I was really little, and live like all the new experience and everything. So yeah, I don't really know which was the exact moment where I decided to do that. I think that it's a thing that was always in myself, and I really start to explore the world when I was 18, and the government allowed me to go abroad and explore new places. So I remember that when I was 18, I had my first boyfriend, and when was my birthday, we did our first journey abroad. We went to Italy, and we just did like, yeah, it was like I was really excited, and we did like with the train, all the country and everything. So yeah, I started to feel so free and feel that I love traveling and meet that experiences. So that was the first journey of many of them.
Of many.
Yeah.
And when you first started traveling, so it sounds like not a lot of people in your town or in your family traveled. Did they think you were crazy to go, or were they supportive?
I'm very lucky because I feel that all my people support me a lot in everything I think
Oh,
or
that's
I
amazing.
do. Yeah, but I think that they in back in that time they admire me. Like, wow, Susana, you are going to because after the Italy journey, I sit my mother in the table one day and I say to her, "Okay, mom, I'm going to Australia," and she was like, what. And I was like, yeah, I get all the information and everything, and I give her everything, and I was like, I decided it's a decision and I really want to do it. So when I was
Wow,
18, I went to Australia for 8 months more or less. Yeah, so I think that
amazing.
they understand me since the very first moment because they know how I am, and they know that that makes me so happy, and yeah, it's like very worth for myself.
Yeah, and I guess if you've always been curious and exploring since an early age, they've seen you branch off and do these things, so it probably wasn't a huge surprise that once you got a taste of travel, you're going to like the furthest continent away, which is Australia, all
I
the way
look at the
across the
map.
world.
I look at the map and I say, okay, the farthest there.
Yeah, that one. That's the one you wanna go to. And what actually brought you to Australia? Like, what was it about the country that you were like, "Yes, I'm going"?
From Europe or Spain, Australia is like a very exotic place. It's like very far, and it's like kangaroos, and it's like we see it
Yeah.
like very exotic. Then when you go
Mhm.
there, you realize that it's a normal place, like nothing
Mhm.
like very like it's normal. It's people live there. They don't fly. They don't like they breathe
Yeah.
normal and everything. But but from Spain is like fantasy. Wow, Australia, it's like discovering a new world. So yeah, it was kind of that fantasy of discovering. I really feel that I wanted to discover the world, so that was the farthest and the fantastic place, so that's why I
Yeah.
chose it. And I also wanted to escape from my place. Like I wanted to live a thing like was really really different for all what I
Mm,
lived in my life. So it was like a disruptive thing, and I wanted
mm.
to do it. Yeah. So that's
And
why
when
I
you say
chose.
that you and when you say you kinda wanted to leave your place, was that just because it was a very small town and you just
Yeah.
wanted more out of life?
Yeah. I have, I don't know if it's a problem. It's just my way of being that I never have enough. Like I want more or different. Yeah, I want to look for. I always think that there is something better waiting for me out there. So if I stay here, it's okay. Like I enjoy the time I'm here with my family, my friends, everything. I love them and they love me. It's a healthy relationship. It's like not about to escape from a bad relationship. It's a good relationship, but it's my feeling of wanting to see everything, and the feeling of that outside there is new people, new experiences, new places, and new things to live. So I want to live. I don't want to stay in
Yes.
in the same place. So that's the power of going outside and always looking for new places to explore and new people to meet. It's amazing when
Yeah.
you go outside.
Yeah, it is, and it sounds like that's what really sparks a fire inside you is, like, learning new things, seeing new
That's it.
places, and it's beautiful to see that because it's not as if, like, as you mentioned, you're not escaping a bad thing, so you're intentionally traveling because you want more and you know that there's more out there for you. So that's
Yeah.
beautiful to have that mindset. And what was when you were in Australia, you said you were there for 8 to 9 months. How did you decide how much time you're going to spend there, and what did you do during that time?
Actually, the time was set by my visa. I went there with a student visa. So it was like 3 months of study in a course. I did a English course, and then 1 month of holiday. So you have 4 months. So I repeat the visa twice. So it was in total 8 months. So I went to a school in there to study English. So I did 3 months of study, 1 month of holiday, 3 months study, 1 month holiday. And in between, I worked in a restaurant and cleaning also. Yeah, I have like a couple of works there because life in Australia is so
Yeah.
expensive. But
Yeah.
anyway, it was great. Like I enjoy everything, and I was 18 years old. I was so young,
Yeah.
and I grow a lot because if I had stayed in my place, I will be like in my comfort zone, like so comfy in my mother's house. They cook me,
Mhm.
they clean me, everything. Like I have a very comfortable life in Spain, and the thing of going there makes me awake and
Mhm.
internal growth. Like I grow a lot as a person because I had to work in places that I will never work if I stay here. I meet people that I will
Mhm.
never met if I were here, and I live many experiences that I will never live if I was here.
Mhm.
So yeah, I totally
What
recommend to
was
go abroad.
Yeah. What was the if you can tell me, like, a major thing that happened in Australia for you that really changed you and forced you to grow? Can you pinpoint it to a specific instance?
I think it was something internal in myself when I realized that I can live outside and adapt to any situation. It's like I was so proud of myself that I could manage every situation. And also, I had one experience that I want to tell you. For me, was so like illumination because I was working in a restaurant, and the manager of the restaurant really trusts me. So he gave me a lot of work, a lot of tables and everything. So I was managing a huge part of the restaurant. So I was like really stressed because I was 18 years old and I never worked in a restaurant before. But yes, so I was under a lot of pressure there. So I was studying in the morning, then running to the bus and go to the restaurant. And one day I was running to the bus. I was so late, and the bus was about to go, but the man stopped and opened the door. So I entered the bus, and I was like very
Out of
running,
breath?
like
Yeah.
very tired. Yeah, and the guy of the bus, the driver, look at me and say, "Okay, stop, breathe, smile, and come inside. Don't pay anything." And I
Oh,
was like,
wow.
"Wow!" My face changed radically. So in that moment, I sit in the bus and I was like, "How is the life?" Like sometimes you are very stressed about a thing or running to go to a place. We live in a very fast society, and things are more simple. Things are, I don't know, we don't need to make it so difficult. Like we can make the things easier and just relax and think that everything is gonna work, everything is gonna be all right. Anything would happen if I lose that bus. Another will come after, and I will take it and I will go. But sometimes we are in a very stressed society and world, and we don't really think about living the moment or be present, or release the pressure. It's like, yeah.
Yeah,
So
we're creating our own pressure sometimes, and we're in our own heads a lot of the time, and
exactly.
cool that he was able to step you out of that.
Yeah, so in Australia, I learned how to focus on the important thing and let the others go. Like, yeah, don't be that. I don't know how to say, but don't be that anger with pressure and everything. It's
Oh,
like,
yeah, like, don't take life too seriously.
yeah, I don't know how to say in English, but be more fluent. Like, go more
I
with the
like go with the
vibe,
flow.
with the flow. Yeah, and yeah,
Okay. Yeah, no, go with the flow is a very good lesson, I think, especially with travel, when a lot of the times things may not work out the way that you thought they would. They will work
exactly.
out,
That's
but
it.
you might miss the schedule. You might, something might go on strike. I know that happens a lot when you're in Italy.
Yeah,
But things will work itself out, even if you miss that flight or, you don't end up making it to that tour, whatever the case may be.
yeah.
You will get through
It's
it. So
like
that's a beautiful lesson.
to see like the reality with perspective, like when you are inside of the problem or in a bad situation when you travel, because you are going to meet bad situations and you are going to be into a trouble, okay, because when you travel you move and that can happen. But the important thing is that you have the capacity of make everything relative and see things with perspective. Like this problem is now, but it will go away, and tomorrow the sun will rise again and you will continue your life. So you don't have to be like um, very focused in the problem. You have to learn how to go with the flow and how to say, okay, I trust myself, I know my capacity, and I know that I will go forward and this will happen. It's not my life, this problem, my life is
Yeah.
more than this. So it's like,
Yeah. The high level zooming out and seeing that, that is just one little tiny thing in the grand scheme of
exactly,
things. It's
of your
beautiful.
day, and yeah, that's
Yeah. And what do you
it.
feel might be so, you traveled to Australia, and after Australia, you went back to Spain, or did you continue traveling?
I did like 1 month and a half in Indonesia, actually, where we met
Okay.
in Bali.
Nice.
Yeah, we did all Java, Bali, and then went to Komodo. It was really good. I was with my ex-boyfriend. I wasn't alone in that time, actually. Yeah. So we did all Indonesia, and then I go back to Spain. Yeah, because I was doing my first year of university, but I did a stop, 1 year stop, and went to Australia, and then I go back and continue the university. Yeah.
Yeah, and you said you also did Erasmus, right? Where you studied in Poland. So, after going back to university in Spain, then it sounds like you did a few years in the Erasmus program and was able to complete your studies in Poland.
Yeah, I did Erasmus in the third year of my degree. So when I went back to Spain from Australia, I was in the second year, and I remember myself thinking all the year, like, I want to go abroad again. How can I go abroad again? And the teachers say, okay, it's time to organize the Erasmus, and I was like, "Where?" I want to go abroad. So
Yeah,
I wanted to do the international thing and go to maybe America or somewhere like farther, but it was kind of difficult because it was a lot of money, and it was also about the your level in the degree. So not everybody
yeah.
could go. So yeah, I just stay in Poland, in Europe. Yeah, I was in Krakow, and it was nice. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, and it would give you another opportunity to again live out of Spain
Exactly.
and get to know new people, get to know new things, right?
Yeah, it was a completely different experience from Australia. And also because of myself, I was more mature person, because I all, like, when I went to the Erasmus, many people was the first time that they were abroad or out of their house. And for me, it was the second. And the first time I was in the other part of the world, I was very used to don't see my family, to manage everything by myself, be really independent. So I had like these capacities thanks to the thing I lived in Australia a couple of years ago. So for me, the Erasmus was enjoy. Like I didn't
Yeah.
have to face any problem. Like many people was like, I miss my mom, I miss my house. It's normal. But I go through it when I was in Australia. So now I was just a very independent person, and I really enjoy the Erasmus, and all the people I meet and everything was incredible experience. Yeah.
Amazing. And for the listeners, Erasmus is a program in Europe, and there's a couple different versions of it. There's one where you can do your bachelor's, your undergrad, and be able to study in a couple different places. Is it like two or three different places in Europe or wherever there's basically agreements with different universities that allow you to do different semesters in those different
Yeah.
partner universities, right?
Yeah, actually, you can choose in. I think it's all the countries in Europe. You can choose all of them. They have many universities, and even in one country, you can choose many cities. Like each capital city has a university, so you can join them. Then, for example, in Poland, I could go to Wrocław. I could go to Varsovia. Yeah,
Oh,
so it
wow.
was like not only Krakow. Like you can choose. Yeah, there are many.
Yeah, and it's such a great program for even for people not in Europe, right? Because it allows
Yeah,
you to go to school in, many of the top European universities. And for the people in the US, it's much cheaper than a US college, significantly much cheaper. And you get to, study and live in multiple different top universities in different parts of Europe. I know that they also have master's programs, and I can't remember if they have doctorate programs. But I
yeah,
remember
they
meeting
have.
someone. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I remember
They
meeting
have now.
someone who was doing a doctorate program after she did the master's program through Erasmus, and my mind was blown. I was actually planning on going to Madrid to do an Erasmus program for business because I was just like, I want to live in Madrid. Why not? So that's such a great opportunity that you were able to be able to live in Poland and again stretch your solo travel muscle, your independence muscle even more after that experience. Was
Yeah,
there?
and you.
Mhm.
Then, and I was just going to add, like when you go on Erasmus, you travel like very different, no? Because you have a group of young people and you do like very cheap travels,
Yeah.
very intense.
Yes.
So yeah, like you go with the bus and you cross around all Europe with the bus, and you see many cities. Maybe in a week you see a couple of cities or a couple of countries, and it's like a very good experience because it's different from the way I was used to travel. So it's also good to travel with the group. It's different, but it's also a nice experience. Yeah,
Yeah, and yeah, because of the way it is, it's you're not doing a lot of sleeping. You're living out of a backpack, doing like the cheapest accommodations, but it's a lot
yeah.
of fun. Definitely if you have the energy when you're younger, that's the thing that you do.
Exactly. It's curious because I met people who was like 40 in hostels,
Oh,
and sometimes it's not about the age, it's more
but
about the
yeah.
spirit, how you
Yes.
yeah. But
Yeah,
yeah,
no, for sure.
it's nice to see people from many ages like traveling like a backpacker or something, because it's a thing that you have to try at least once in your
Yeah.
life. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, exactly. My backpacker days are definitely behind me, but I'm very glad for the experience because it puts
Exactly.
you in such uncomfortable positions where you're staying in hostels with like 12 plus people, and you just have to really find peace in yourself to be able to process and be patient. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a great experience. What's been the biggest thing that you feel like as you've been, growing internally and traveling, navigating the world, what's the biggest thing that you've overcome or healed from so far in your journey?
Overcome like bad situations or
Or just a way that you've grown or healed or changed significantly, if there was anything that transformed you in your travel.
I think that in myself, I become like more independent. I really enjoy to go alone and do the things that I like to do, or I don't know. It's nice because when you want to make a group, you can go with the group, and when you want to go alone, you can go alone and at your own and do whatever you want. So for me, traveling makes me more mature. I can face problems with more and be more quiet and relaxed. Like I think people get stressed so early with everything, and I'm like, okay. everything is gonna be all right. Trust in yourself. You can make it. You can make it. I live that. I experience this when I travel with my friends. They are like, we are going to miss the flight. We are going to blah blah blah, and it's like. No, enjoy, enjoy. Everything is gonna be all right. And if this happened, we can make a solution. So I become a very resolutive person since I travel, because you have to face many situations that makes you be under pressure. So, and
Yeah.
that's a thing that I'm very proud of, because then you can make it in the professional life. For example, I'm trying to set my business, and you have to face many things. So be calm, like be more patient. It's better for make the things go. So yeah, I think that that's the most important thing that I have from my journeys, like my capacity of being resolutive, more independent, and trust myself. Yeah,
Yeah,
myself.
those are great, great, great lessons. And let's dive into your business then. I'm excited to hear about it. So, you finished university in Poland, and when did you go full-time travel and when did you start your business?
Okay, I went to the Erasmus, then I go back and finish my fourth year of university. And when I finished the university, as I said before in the beginning, I'm a very dispersed people, and I want to know everything. I'm very curious. So I decided to change and make a different master. It was communication and marketing master related with politics. Yeah, it was completely different of what I was studying, but I really feel that I wanted to study that because I love communication. So I make it, but then I realized that I didn't work. I didn't want to work of that. I wanted to be a teacher. So I take again the path of the teaching, and I was working in an international school in Valencia as a Spanish teacher online. I have a Spanish teacher presentially in the school. Yeah, and for me that was amazing because I discovered that I love it. Like I could mix my two passions: Spanish teaching and international cultures, international people, like the world, and my
Yes,
passion for teaching in one thing, in one profession. And it was like, wow, that's what I want, because
that's amazing.
I didn't want to stay in a high school here in Spain, because the type of education is different. So I really enjoy to meet new cultures, to meet new people, know about them, tell them about our culture in Spain. It's amazing, and I really love it. So, well, I was working in the Spanish school here in Valencia, but I decided to stop my work there and try to set my business online, because I'm a nomad. I love
Yeah.
traveling. So I was bored of staying in Valencia only. So yeah, there's the way internet allows now everybody to set online business and just work from remotely from anywhere in the world. So yeah, it was in
So how did
yeah.
Oh yeah, how did you start getting your clients? Like what did you do first to set everything up?
I set it this year. I decided to open my Instagram. For me, opening the Instagram was like the first thing I had to face, because it's different to make a class and speak in front of everybody in the class. I'm comfortable with that because they are my students, but I wasn't comfortable of speaking in front of
Yeah,
anybody. Like,
strangers. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Like from a camera and then post it for everybody. It was like so strange for me. And I didn't know if I was going to feel comfortable with this. So on January, I started to open my Instagram, record videos, and then I discovered that I really love it. So it
Oh
was good.
yeah.
Yeah, because it was a fear that I had to face, and that made me grow a little bit more. Every year in your life you have to do things that take out of your comfort zone and make you grow. So my thing in 2023 was this one, to open to the world and record myself and do everything like online and in Instagram. So yeah,
Amazing.
that's the way I try to find the clients, the students in Instagram. Yeah.
Amazing. And you said you primarily teach other nomads, other people. Where's the concentration of your clients typically? What countries are they from?
When I was in the school, it was people from everybody, everywhere. They come from the school, like maybe for traveling, or they wanted to study in Spain, so they first took a course or something like that. Now, like I'm online, so it's people who sometimes they are travelers and sometimes not, but they have the spirit of traveling, and they are like, Susana, next month I'm going to wherever country, I'm so excited, you know. So they are people who normally move a lot and have this sense of exploring and adventurous people. So yeah, it's like a very wide range of people, but they are normally young people, like from 25 to 40, more or less, and people who want to travel and meet the Spanish culture because they are very interested in meeting Spanish people. Yeah, and they love the
Amazing.
culture. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, that's amazing. And I know even for myself, I take Spanish classes twice a week and I've been doing that for the last 2 years. And like I've referred my teacher to so many people because it's like everyone wants to also expand their mind, expand their language skills. Spanish also unlocks a lot of countries for you, like so many
yeah.
countries when you're traveling. Like you have a whole continent that you can unlock and be able to speak with anyone. Well, except for in Brazil, but you know, the majority of South America, Central America, Spain, you can chat with people and also other different countries that speak Spanish. It's such a great language to learn, and it's also a Latin-based language, so that there's some familiarity at least with some of the tenses. So I love that you're teaching that because I have had so many of my own friends and other nomads who are like, "Who's your Spanish teacher? I need I need some classes." So that's amazing that you're offering that, and also
Yeah,
online,
that's
because I feel like
great.
online, it's amazing to be able to have the flexibility to take the classes when you need to take the classes.
Yeah, and also I feel like Spanish. It's also because I am Spanish, but not only about because of that. But really, Spanish is a very worth language. Like it has a lot of richness, like lot of words, lot of expressions, and it's very different from one area to another. Like it's not the same Spanish if you go to Argentina or if you come to
Yeah.
Spain, or even inside in Spain you have many varieties of
Accents
the
and stuff,
language.
yeah.
So yeah, if you go, for example, to the south, Andalusia, Sevilla, Granada, it's so different from the north. For example, we understand each other, of course, but it's so nice to see how there are some speaking difference, pronunciation difference, and then expressions. It's very complete, and it's very funny to study Spanish. Yeah, you never finish studying Spanish.
No, no, not at all. Yeah, I learned Spanish in Mexico at first, and
Yeah,
then I moved to Argentina for a little bit. And as you know, the Argentinian, especially in Buenos Aires, that accents, the tenses are different. So that was like relearning Spanish again, because
yeah.
you have to pick up on accent too, right? Like when someone says like "ella," you're like, what does that actually mean? And you're like, oh, it's ella,
With a
but you just don't. Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
So yeah, I think that's
sure.
really important. Sure, boss. Yeah. Yeah, and there's so many words that are only in certain like dialects, like there's a lot of
Mhm.
slang and
A
one
lot of
word
slang.
like yeah, like
Yeah.
straw. The word straw, popote or sorbete or like I don't even know how many
Ju-
different ways you can say. What is the other one?
Jugo, for example, juice, the juice in Spain we say zumo, and they say jugo. It's like
Yeah.
yeah, it's different, but yeah, it's nice because if you know the language in 1 year, you have nothing more. You know,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
nice to you are always learning and meeting people who teach you a new expression, and it's really
Mhm.
nice. Yeah,
Yeah, so it's a constantly learning thing, but as I like your perspective on it, that it's fun, and it also gives you something to learn in each of the countries that you go to, right? Because it's so different that like when you go to Argentina, when you go to Spain, when you go to Colombia, like it's all different varieties, and you get
yeah,
to increase your capacity to learn by doing that. So very, very
Yeah,
beautiful
and
language.
also like what I say to my students is like don't make pressure on yourself and enjoy the learning path because even the Spanish we are still learning. Like I am
Yeah.
learning of new expressions in Mexico, in Argentina, in Chile. Everybody, all the Spanish speakers, also keep learning. You know, we don't know
Mhm.
all the Spanish. Varieties. So just enjoy the learning. You are not never going to be native in anything. Like enjoy the
Yes, that
learning
makes.
and that's it.
And would that be like if you were to give one tip to someone who wants to start taking Spanish classes, but maybe they're starting from like zero? They're like very intimidated, but they're curious. Like, what would you tell that person?
I will tell them that take it easy. like like if you are hurry about learning, it's okay. Like you can learn the basics in a very fast way. I have my 60 days course that I will announce later. But take it easy. Like you don't need to know everything in 4 months. It's impossible. Like your brain can achieve all that kind of information. So you are not a robot. You are a human, and you need a process, a learning process. So don't make pressure on yourself because it's a language. So you need time to make it yours. Okay,
Yeah.
so it will take a while and probably you will never speak like a native. This is a thing that you have to keep in mind. You will never speak like a native. So don't make pressure on yourself. Yeah, it's just enjoy
Yeah.
learning a language. It's about enjoying and about trying to find more objectives like improve your professional level and improve your conversation skills, improve in your life, no, meet new people and try to make connections. But it doesn't happen anything if you say something wrong when you are speaking. If you stop 1 second to rethink, don't make
Mhm.
pressure. Like it's normal. Everybody goes through that. So yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, it's like giving
yeah,
your
no,
permission to it's okay to not be perfect at it.
yeah, exactly. Like for me in my school, in my classes, one of the most important things is the mistakes.
Mm.
Make mistakes. I want you to make mistakes, you know? And my role is to analyze your mistakes and make you grow faster by learning from your own mistakes. Because everybody when we speak, I don't speak perfect English, but the main goal is to make the communication. Like you understand me, so it's all right. It doesn't matter if you make mistake. The thing when you are in a Spanish class is that the teacher has to analyze your mistakes and try to make it better, you know?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
take it easy, take a good Spanish teacher.
Yeah.
Just and improve little by little, improve little by little. Don't make pressure on yourself because it's
Yeah,
normal. It's
beautiful,
about the language.
beautiful advice. Yeah, exactly. Like, as long as you have I like what you said about the different goals, right? Your goal shouldn't be speak like a native because you aren't, that's just not like you can't turn back the time and become a native born in some Spanish speaking country. But you can, like you said, have a better accent. You could have a better professional vocabulary, or a more, maybe you want to know all of the slang terms so that you can talk a little bit more casually, right? I like those little small goals that you can have because you can focus on them.
Exactly.
You can have direct lessons where you're practicing those specific things. I think that makes it more attainable than like a large goal of like be
Totally,
native.
totally agree.
What
Yeah,
does that even mean?
yeah,
Yeah.
because I think that this happened in every language. Like I met people who is living in Spain for maybe 20 years and they are still not speaking properly. So how do you want to speak perfect in 1 year? It's impossible.
Yeah.
Like take it easy.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I agree with you. Like set little goals. Like for example, in these 6 months or in these 3 months, I want to try to learn the past tenses, for example, or I want to try to learn how people speak in Andalusia, for example, or the pronunciation in Mexico. I don't know, like little goals, and yeah, don't try to make everything in one time because it's impossible. It's too much information.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I love that. I already feel like less pressure just chatting with you about Spanish and also life in general. I love the energy that you're bringing. Before we close, I want to ask you a few questions that I ask all of my guests in regards to solo travel. So I know that we met dancing bachata. So, that's definitely one of the ways that I recommend people to find connections. But
Yeah.
where have you met your most meaningful connections while you've been traveling? And do you have any fun tips for other solo travelers looking to make and nurture those connections while they're traveling?
Okay, for me, first of all, I have to say that I danced for 1 year ago, so it's brand new in my life. But I met a really amazing community in Bali when I met you. And for me, dancing was one of the things that makes me met the most amount of people.
Hmm.
Okay, so dancing, if you dance, if
Yeah.
you're listening to this podcast and you dance, please look for the dancing community in the city you are visiting, because you are going to be so impressed about the huge community you are going to find there. Really, it's mind blowing. And
Yes.
normally it's really nice people. So yeah, if you dance, look for that. And then before dancing, I always look for people in hostels. It's a good place. Like when I travel alone, I try to combine. Sometimes I go with my own room, like alone, individual, and sometimes I go with the backpacker or the hostel, because it's great to feel to explore by yourself, but then it's also nice to meet new people, new cultures, and go with them. So the hostels are a really good place to meet new people. Then I would say that tours. For example, I
Mm.
remember when I was in the Philippines, in El Nido, make a tour. And you are in a boat maybe with 30 people. So in that moment, it's like, where are you from? I'm from Spain. And where are
Yeah.
you from? And what are you doing after the tour? And you
Yes.
just go dinner with them, or things like that. And then hobbies, like before taking a solo travel, take a white paper or in the notes on your phone and write things that makes you feel happy, like which things
Yes.
makes you feel happy. It doesn't matter if you have done it before or not. Okay, for
Mhm.
example, if you think that you love the sea and you would love to start surfing, to start diving, or try free diving, but you never do it, okay, it's okay. All right, write it. And when you go there, do it, because
Yes.
you will feel incredible emotion and feeling because of yourself. You will feel so filled, and then you will meet a lot of people there that has the same mind as the one that you want to achieve. So this is so
Yeah.
important.
Yeah, I love all those tips. Those are ones that I would give people as well, especially the hobbies piece, which is why I always ask like what your favorite childhood activity is to start you off thinking what makes you happy, what lights you up, and from there what type of activities can you start to do, because all of those activities you can start before you even start solo traveling. You can do them in your
Exactly.
own city, a version of it. So that's a really great tip. And also the salsa bachata community. I actually thought you salsaing all your life, because you're really good.
No.
So I'm very
Thank you. I always like dancing, but I never took classes because I used to be a very introvert person and very shy person. This is one of the things I faced in my travels. But before, I used to be like very shy and I didn't want to dance. Yeah. Now, no. Now I
amazing.
forget.
Yeah. Yeah, that's such a big change. That's also something that I've been working through myself because I recently started dancing like a couple of years ago, and I still get really shy and anxious when I dance. But that's so cool to see that you've only started like a year ago, and yeah, you're so comfortable when you're dancing and you look so great
Yeah.
out there. So that's really cool to see.
Yeah, thank you. I wanted also like to say, like when you travel, like for all the solo travelers that are listening to us and they are maybe trying to plan their first travel, uh, take it in your mind as opportunity to release what you have been in your life and to start making a new version of yourself, a improved version of yourself. It's like a new opportunity because you're going to a new place, you're going to meet
Mhm.
new people, you are going to start doing new hobbies, new things that you have never done before. And people there don't know you. They don't know all your fears that you have inside you. They don't know all what you have been before, but they know what you are in that moment.
Yes.
So be the best version of yourself, do everything, don't hesitate, and yeah, enjoy every uncomfortable thing, because you're going to go through a lot of uncomfortable moments and moments that will make you feel like oh yes no yes no, but yes, do it. When
Yes.
you are thinking yes no, go. Because for
Yeah.
example, sometimes when I arrive to a new city, it's like I don't know if I'm going to feel comfortable, I don't know where to go, where to have dinner, like simple things.
Mhm.
And I talk to myself and I say, Susana, go. You don't know
Yeah.
where you're going. It's all right. Just take the door, go outside, and things will come to you. And really, they come. I can assure you that they come. Good things come.
They do. Yeah,
So
you
do
have to
it.
put yourself
Always
out there.
action, action.
Yes, I love that. And that's such a great advice as well because, yeah, I think that that's you get in your head sometimes. And this is the perfect opportunity. Solo travel is a perfect opportunity to test out different things that you want to try and keep as part of who you are, right? And I think what a lot of people end up getting stuck doing is they have an amazing time solo traveling and then they come back home and they go back to that old version of themselves because that's how everyone still
Mm.
sees them. And then now you're like, was that a dream? Did I just live this amazing life? But now it's gone and it's not real because no one else around me knows that version of me. And it's great to be able to test it out while you're traveling, but stay true to yourself. If that is the new version of you and that's the version of you that you want to be, don't have two versions of you. Bring that version back and allow the people that were in your life to meet the new version of you. Allow them to say, like, oh, okay, like before I was really shy and introverted, but actually I really love meeting new people and I love trying new things. And that's the new version of me that I want you to know. And the people that love and care about you will stay and support that new version.
Totally agree. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, and it's difficult. Like it's not easy. Like we say it and it seems
Mhm.
easy, but it's not easy because when you are there, you have another context. And when you come back to your place, you have the same context as you had before. Anything
Mhm.
changed. This is an incredible thing because when I come back, I told to my friends, "Hey, how was this time? What
Mhm.
happened to you?" And they are all nothing. Everything was the
Nothing.
same. Anything changed. And it's like, okay, I'm a different person in a same place. So it's like you have to try to manage the situation and try to make what you learn in the journey, try to translate it to your reality, and
Yeah.
don't make the reality bothers you. Like you
Mhm.
have to control the situation. So for
Yeah.
example, when I came to Spain, for me dancing was one of the things that I discovered in my solo traveling to Bali, and was the thing that makes me happy in Bali. So I wanted to continue do it here. So I'm doing other dancing classes here in Spain, and I'm investing my time trying to improve as a dancer because that's what makes me feel happy. So
Mhm.
I'm trying to prioritize. Like for example, if on Saturday I have a dancing meeting, a conference
Mhm.
of dancing or something, and my mother wants to have a lunch with me, I say, okay, mom, let's do a dinner because I have the dancing. So it's try
Mhm.
to do the things that makes you happy and take everything under control, but don't be the same person you were before. Because before I
Yeah.
will say, okay, let's do the dinner and let's do the lunch, and I will go dancing another
Cancel.
day. And it's like, no, because
Mhm.
dancing is what makes me feel happy. So that's it.
Exactly. Yeah, that's very important to prioritize the things that make that new version of you happy and also
Exactly.
allow the people to adapt to that. So, like, your mom, of course, adapted and was like, oh, yeah, that's fine. And, like, also friends, right? Like, sometimes, as you said, like, friends don't necessarily have like a lot of changes that happen during that same time, but you changed. And, what does it look like if you asked your friends to go dancing? And you're like, hey, you want to do a dance class with me? Let's try something new. Because then you can bring a little bit of that new version of you to that relationship. And they could say no. They'd be like, no, I'll see you after. But it's at least, you're letting them know, like, hey, this is something that like I really love doing and I do consistently. And the door is open if you want to join me at some point. So then you're evolving that existing relationship and the new direction of you as well.
Yeah, for me it was a process in my life to understand that my background didn't want the same things as I want. So
Mm-hmm.
as I say before, they kind of admire me, like in a good way. Like when I come back from a journey, it's like I always have something to show them or teach them, and it's
Yeah.
like so nice because I feel great to make them understand another things. And for example, about the dancing or things that I learned there, the new culture and everything, I like to be like the person who transmit the things from
Yeah.
outside to inside. So it's
Yeah.
like yeah, try to apport something to the other people. Yeah, I
Yeah,
like
and it could
that.
even be something like, oh, you tried Balinese food, Indonesian food while you were there, and you're like, "Hey, I did a cooking class, let me cook for you." And then they get to try it too. Yeah, or like you teach them how to do a dish and then it becomes an experience that you guys get to do together. And that just makes the relationship a little richer in a way too.
Yeah, like now I didn't cook it, but when I went to the Philippines last year, then I come back home and I cook to them adobo, chicken adobo.
Ah,
That
I
it's
love
very
adobo.
typical there. I love it,
Yeah.
yeah. And I learned how to cook it, and my parents were like, "Wow, it's amazing to do it. They eat this in Philippines." And I was,
Yeah, and adobo's one of my favorites, and it's so easy to make too. You can
yeah.
have those ingredients in any city that you go to. You'll always have white vinegar. You'll always have soy sauce and
So
chicken
yeah,
and rice, and like
exactly.
bay leaves, right? Like that's really the main ingredients of it, and that's awesome that you can cook that and share that with
Yeah,
your family.
yeah. It's really
And
nice. Yeah.
what is one question that you wish you could have asked your younger self earlier at the start of your journey? So, for example, for me, I wished that I had asked myself what I valued and really understood like what the five things were that were true to me so that I can now I see everything through that filter. And I'm wondering if there is some epiphany question that you came upon and it opened up so many things for you. And if you could have asked yourself that question sooner, what would it be?
I don't know what question I will ask to myself, but I will definitely say to myself to try to focus more in things and trust more in myself. Like for me, I feel that I know a lot myself, but it was because of a long way of traveling, meeting people, face situations that I know myself now. But I didn't used to be like that when I was 16, 17, 18. But yeah, I don't have any, I don't know, a question like I will ask. Just focus and continue. Like, you are doing great. I will say to myself, Susanna, you are doing great. I know that sometimes you are like, I'm different. Anybody around me is the same or has the same vision
The
of
same path.
life. Yeah, like I have. But it's like, trust yourself because you are doing great. You are going to arrive to the place that you like. And now I am living the life I like. But it's been a long way. So yeah, just trust myself. But I think I do it great
Yeah.
because I meet myself in a young age. There is people who
Mhm.
is lost until 30 or 40, and it's all right.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it's so difficult to find yourself, but I'm happy that I find myself soon. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. We all get there sooner or later, hopefully. It's great that you made those realizations. You took those risks really early on. So what would you tell women who are considering traveling for the very first time by themselves and they're a little nervous, they're hesitant? What advice would you give them?
Okay, I think that the huge advice I can tell to you is that you have nothing to lose and a lot of things to achieve or to
Oh.
learn. So, okay, you are going abroad. Your mind has decided that you are going abroad, but you start to feel this nervous and this all of a lot of questions are coming to your mind. What is going to happen? I'm going to like the place. I'm going to feel comfortable with the people. I will eat properly. I will find my happiness there, or I will just lose money. Okay, it's like stop. What happened if you go to that place and you don't like it? What happened? Like, you're going to be yourself, you're going to have your family still, you are going to have your friends, you are going to have everything, but you are going to have one addition. You will have a new experience in your mind. You know that
Mhm.
you don't like that place. Perfect, let's go to another place. What's the problem? Like, there's nothing going on, in no problem with that. The world is huge, and you don't have to like all the places, and sometimes we make bad decisions. You think that one place is gonna fit you, and you arrive there and it's like, I don't like the vibe for whatever reason. Sometimes you don't
Yeah.
even know how to explain it, but you don't like it.
Mhm.
So it's like, okay, let's move to another place, and that's it. For example, that happens to me in Gili Air, Gili
Mm.
Meno in Indonesia.
Ah.
Indonesia, in Bali, there are three little islands: Gili Tragawan, Air, and Meno. So everybody say that Meno was so natural, so nice, relaxed. And I was there, and I don't know, I just didn't feel the vibe. And I
Mhm.
sleep one night, and then I moved to Gili Air, that it's the one that it's next to it, and it's all right. Nothing happened. Like, maybe I will come back to Indonesia 5 years after, and I will love it. But sometimes the vibe of the place and your vibe in that moment doesn't match, and it's all right.
Mhm.
So if you are a solo traveler and you are really excited about meeting a place, and then you meet the place, you meet the people, you meet the culture, and you realize that it's not your place, don't worry about that. Just try to see what's the next step. Can I go
Mhm.
to the country that is next to it? Okay, so let's go. Can I move the city? Okay, let's go. Or I just
Mhm.
want to go back home. It's all right. You don't. It's not deception.
Mhm.
If you want to go back, go back. Like, always talk to yourself. What makes you feel happy? If you are comfortable, stay. If you are not comfortable, move. It's so easy.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's like that.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, it is. It's going back to it's not as serious as you have it in your head. And of course, there's a
Exactly.
lot of things that are serious. There's a lot of stressors, but like you can talk to yourself and talk yourself down from a very anxious, overthinking position. And like you
Yeah,
said, like if I don't like it, I don't like it. I'm not going to force myself to like it. There's always other
exactly.
options, but at least you know you're not feeling it, and that's fine.
Yeah. It's like, don't stress out about things that have a simple solution, because
Yeah.
sometimes we have the idea of what the others are going to think about me. It's like,
Mhm.
if you don't meet the expectations of the other people, and no, like, you have to be yourself and manage yourself. The other will manage their own expectations, but just do what makes you feel happy, and that's it.
Yeah, you're living this life just for you, so you might as well be doing the
Exactly.
things that make you happy and not other people, at the
Yeah,
end of the day. Perfect. Thank you
that's
so
it.
much for sharing all of this amazing advice. I already feel much more relaxed, actually, just talking about, like,
Great.
de-escalating, and yeah, thank you so much. This was so lovely, and I know that your words are going to resonate and help so many other women. So thank you for sharing. I
Hope
want to
so.
give you some time to have to share how people can reach you. You mentioned Instagram. How can people contact you if they have any questions or if they want to start studying Spanish?
Yeah. Okay, so first of all, thanks to everybody who arrived to the end of this podcast. I hope that I could help you with my story and with my life experience. You can contact me and you can find me mainly in Instagram. My Instagram is Spanish Nomads Tribe, so you can find it. I think maybe in the link
The show notes,
somewhere in the
yes.
podcast. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can contact me. Not also, I mean, if you want to study Spanish, it's all right. I will be so happy to help you with your Spanish. But if you have any other question about traveling or whatever, really, you can write to me. I'm a very open person. I will answer to you. Don't be shy of writing to me, because I will help you as much as I can. Okay. So yeah.
Amazing.
And then
And you mentioned you are starting a program, right?
yeah, we are releasing a Spanish program in January. So it's a 60-day Spanish program. It's quite intensive because it's for people who want to start speaking Spanish from zero, from scratch. So during 60 days, we are together, and every day we learn one part of Spanish things. So the goal with this course is that you learn the basics. Okay, you are not going to be professional in 60 days, but you are going to learn the basic, because I met a lot of people who want to go to Spain, travel to Spain, and have the first contact with Spanish and the Spaniards. So they need how to go to a restaurant and say, okay, I want this food, or do you have this? Or go to the airport, or go to ask for directions and feel comfortable. I travel a lot, and I experience the feeling when you arrive to a place and you don't know anything. You don't even know how to say hello
Yeah.
in the local language, and it's so frustrating. So I create this program to make the people know at least the basics to travel to Spain and feel comfortable and feel like they are kind of a bit of Spanish,
Yeah.
you know?
I love that.
So yeah, it's based on it's not based on grammar, it's based on real situations. So you are going
Mhm.
to try to face the real life and try to speak with the natives in real conversation. So yeah, that's it. we will
Amazing, amazing.
we will start the registrations, the sign up in January. So yeah, stay tuned, and if you are interested, just follow me on Instagram, and I will give you all the.
Perfect. Yeah, I'm so excited for this because also January is when everyone starts to set their goals, and this is like a actual
Yeah.
tangible thing that you can do to achieve your goals. If your goal is to be able to learn Spanish, travel to a Spanish speaking country and be able to communicate at least your basic needs, this is like a really
Yeah.
great way to start the new year. So thank you, and I'm excited to have people go into this program. And I have a love for Spanish and the Spanish language, so the more people I can practice with, the better.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. More Spanish speakers, please.
Exactly, exactly. Perfect. Thank you so much for again sharing your story and being on this podcast. And I'll share all of the links so people can reach out to you. Thank you, and thank you
Thank you.
also to the listeners on today's episode. I hope that Susana's story has resonated and inspired you to transform your life through solo travel, make meaningful connections, and also reignite your spirit of play. And see you all at the next adventure.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye. Yay.
Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of the Travel Not to Escape podcast. I hope you found our conversation inspiring and insightful. And if you're ready to take the next step in your journey of self discovery through intentional travel, I invite you to join our vibrant and supportive community of solo female travelers over on Facebook. Inside our community, you'll find like minded women from all walks of life sharing their stories, experiences, and tips on how to make travel a transformative part of your life. It's a safe space to ask questions, seek advice, and find inspiration. To become a part of this incredible community, simply search for Travel Not to Escape on Facebook groups, or you can click the link in the episode description. I can't wait to welcome you into our tribe of fearless travelers. Remember, your journey of self discovery begins with that first step, so don't hesitate, join us today, and let's embark on this adventure together. Until next time, keep exploring, connecting, and playing, and safe travels, navigators.